Time is running out. You had a calling, but you've been distracted by their drama. The clock is ticking. The heavens have issued a warning. And Archangel Michael stands at the threshold of time, watching, guarding, and whispering one truth into the atmosphere. You had a calling. Yes, before the chaos, before the delays, before the drama clouded your vision, you were anointed for something sacred. You were chosen for something rare. You were stirred by something divine. But now you've been caught in their noise, caught in their opinions, caught in their web of emotional chaos that was never yours to begin with. This message is not here to shame you. It's here to realign you. This is a prophetic interruption, because time is running out. There was a fire that once burned in you, a vision you were shown, a direction you were so sure of. And then they came, with their problems, their projections, their petty distractions. What started as concern turned to confusion. What began as compassion turned into compromise. And now, your clarity has been eclipsed by their storm. Archangel Michael has come to say, you must remember why you started. You must remember what was placed in your spirit before they placed their burdens in your path. This is a wake-up call for your soul. This is your divine alarm. Because time is no longer waiting. Purpose is not pause. Heaven is on schedule, and you are late. You don't have another year to waste entertaining dysfunction. You don't have another season to spend explaining yourself to people who were never assigned to your purpose. You don't have another month to stay entangled in situations that heaven never approved. Archangel Michael declares, the mission is still yours. The anointing is still active. But you must move now. You must return now. You must rise now. This message has found you in a divine moment. You are not here by mistake. You are here by instruction. Type I am ready in the comments to realign. Blessing code 777 is now in motion. Archangel Michael says, time is running out. The heavens have spoken. The divine realm is now in motion, and you have been summoned back into alignment. This is not a general message. It is a direct order. You have been marked by heaven, and yet the noise of this world has pulled you far from the sound of your assignment. You were not born to be absorbed by chaos. You were not created to be consumed by conflict. You were appointed for something greater, and the angelic realm is now issuing a sacred alert. You have less time than you think. Your hesitation has been recorded. Your spiritual silence has echoed louder than your prayers. But heaven is merciful, and heaven is patient. And today, heaven sends its mightiest warrior to stand before you, not to scold you, but to remind you. Remind you of the voice you once obeyed. Remind you of the fire you once carried. Remind you that your purpose cannot be erased, only delayed. But delay has now met its deadline. In the realms beyond this one, the atmosphere around your name is stirring. Archangel Michael is pacing. His sword is glowing. Your angels are restless, because they know something you've forgotten. You were about to shift a generation. You were about to break a chain. You were about to walk through a door no one in your family ever reached. And then, you were pulled into their drama, pulled into their patterns, pulled into their distractions that wear masks of loyalty, masks of love, masks of emotional need. But the masks are slipping now, and you must see it for what it is. Heaven is not asking for your perfection. Heaven is asking for your return. Not tomorrow, not next week, but now. The message is urgent. The energy is shifting. The sky is speaking. This is your hour to pivot. This is your hour to step out of emotional entanglement and step back into divine embodiment. Time is running out, but mercy is still extended. And as long as you can hear this, you can still make it. As long as your heart is beating, you can still shift course. You are not behind. You are being recalibrated. But the clock is moving, and heaven will not wait forever. Type I am returning if this word is for you. Blessing code 444 now surrounds you. They thought you forgot. They thought you gave up. They thought you were just another dreamer whose fire burned out in the storm. They watched your silence and called it surrender. They observed your distance and named it defeat. But they never understood that the quiet was sacred. They never understood that your stillness was spiritual strategy. They mistook your patience for passivity. And now, behind closed doors, your name is in their mouths, twisted by misunderstanding, marinated in projection, fueled by fear. Archangel Michael is revealing this now, not to scare you, but to free you. Because someone is watching you, but not for your success. They are watching to see you fall. Yes, a conversation has already begun behind your back. Subtle, overt, insidious. They speak of you like they know you, but they only know a chapter, not your book. They only glimpsed your struggle, not your substance. They took snapshots of your lowest moments and tried to make a documentary. But what they don't realize is that heaven already rewrote your script. And Archangel Michael wants you to know, your silence is not a weakness. It is a weapon. Your stillness has rattled their spirits. Your peace has disrupted their plans. Because the darkness cannot comprehend the light that does not perform for approval. You were trying to help. You were trying to love. You were trying to support. And while you were pouring out your oil, they were poking holes in your vessel. Every time you bent to help them heal, they took advantage of your reach. Every time you made room for their healing, they encroached on your own. But now you must realize this. It was never your job to fix what they refused to surrender. It was never your duty to carry burdens that heaven did not assign. That's why the drama is draining you. It was never yours to hold. There is someone close who is pretending to support you but secretly competes with your spirit. They ask you questions not to learn from you, but to measure how far ahead you are. They offer encouragement with one hand and criticism with the other. They confuse vulnerability with access. And that confusion is costing you your clarity. Archangel Michael says this truth must be exposed. You've been carrying the wrong company into your calling. You've been entertaining those who celebrate your delays more than your victories. And the longer you stay distracted by their drama, the more distant your destiny becomes. But even now, heaven is unveiling what was hidden. The misalignment is being revealed. The noise is being separated from the signal. The truth is coming into focus, and clarity is descending like a sword. You will no longer be blinded by false loyalty. You will no longer be entangled in emotional traps disguised as support. You will no longer give your divine energy to those who feed off your delay. You are awakening now. You are remembering now. You are reclaiming now. And the moment you do, everything begins to shift. Your name will be cleared in heaven, even if it remains misunderstood on earth. Because your reward does not come from them, it comes from the throne. Type ISE clearly in the comments if this is your confirmation. Blessing code 999 hath been activated over your discernment. This was never just about them. This was never just about the gossip, the whispers, the slander, or the stares. This was spiritual. This was war. This was a calculated effort to unseat you from your assignment by exhausting you with distractions that look like relationships, that sound like friends, that feel like obligations but serve as interruptions. Archangel Michael declares it now. This is not personal. It is profoundly spiritual. What you're going through is not petty. It's prophetic. What you're feeling isn't weakness. It's warfare. Because when your calling carries weight, you become a magnet for resistance. You see, the moment you were called, the moment your name echoed in heaven's courtrooms, the moment your feet were ordered by divine design, the shadows took notice. The moment you said yes to purpose, yes to transformation, yes to becoming more than what they expected, you became a threat. And that threat triggered retaliation. Not because of who you are, but because of what you carry. You carry revelation. You carry restoration. You carry authority in a realm many cannot see but surely feel. Your spiritual enemies do not fight you over your past. They fight you because of your future. And they know, if you ever break free from the drama, you will become unstoppable. That's why it keeps coming. This conflict, this confusion, this cycle. It doesn't just happen. It's sent. Sent to wear you down. Sent to make you doubt yourself. Sent to slow your steps until you forget that you were called to run, not crawl. But here's the truth Archangel Michael has come to declare over you. The very conflict they sent to destroy you is about to confirm your anointing. The very attack that tried to derail you is revealing your spiritual rank. They don't war against what's weak. They only war against what's powerful. So if you've been under pressure, under fire, under emotional attack, it's because you're closer to breakthrough than you know. You are not cursed, you are called. You are not forgotten. You are fortified. You are not under judgment. You are under divine construction. What you feel right now is not abandonment. It's activation. Heaven is reactivating your awareness, reigniting your purpose, repositioning you away from emotional chaos and back into prophetic clarity. The storm didn't come to kill you. It came to cleanse you. And what you lose in this process was never meant to stay. What walks away was never assigned to walk with you into the next level. Let it go. Release it. Stop trying to rescue what God is trying to remove. The people, the places, the patterns, all of it is shifting. Because the next dimension requires less noise and more clarity. The next level of your calling demands less distraction and more discipline. You can't walk into destiny carrying the weight of those who were only meant to be lessons. Archangel Michael says it plainly. This is divine refinement. This is spiritual separation. This is sacred preparation. You're being positioned for the very thing you prayed for, but to receive it, you must stop feeding what drains you. Stop arguing with what heaven already exposed. Stop rehearsing the pain when you've been given the power to rise. You are not just protected. You are empowered. You are not just safe. You are sanctioned. You are under divine surveillance, and heaven is handling what you can't. So release your grip on the drama. Surrender your heart to purpose. Step out of confusion and back into consecration. There is no more time to waste. There is too much at stake. And now that you see the spiritual framing behind the conflict, you are ready to walk away with peace, power, and purpose in your stride. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if this is your shift. Blessing code 1212 now falls upon your spiritual authority. Something is stirring. Something unseen. Something moving behind the veil of the natural. Archangel Michael is raising his voice now because what you've sensed in your spirit is not your imagination. It's your intuition being awakened. A confrontation is forming. A disruption is brewing. There are forces, human and spiritual, that cannot stand the fact that you are awakening, realigning, and rising again. The enemy of your purpose is losing grip, and so it is lashing out one last time in a desperate attempt to pull you back down. Archangel Michael says, do not take the bait. Do not return to the battlefield you've already won. In the next 72 hours, you may notice strange energies rising, people resurfacing, stories being twisted, accusations suddenly reappearing, voices calling out from past seasons where you've already closed the chapter. You'll feel the tension before it speaks. You'll sense the lie before it forms. And heaven wants you alert, because they are not coming to reconcile. They're coming to provoke. They're coming to distract you in the very moment you're about to step back into alignment. Be warned, they may message you out of nowhere, but their motive is not healing, it's control. They may ask to talk, but their goal is not truth, it's confusion. Your name is being discussed. In texts, in phone calls, in private group chats, but not with love, not with honor, not with curiosity. Your name is being weighed, dissected, and distorted, because the drama you left behind refuses to die quietly. They feel your shift. They feel your silence. They feel your withdrawal, and they know it means one thing: you're becoming too strong to manipulate. So the lies are being stirred, the projections are being repackaged, and someone is about to try and test your peace. But Archangel Michael says, this is not your fight. There is no reason to explain yourself. No need to defend what heaven has already cleared. No value in chasing down rumors to correct them. Let the lie echo. It cannot cancel your calling. Let the confusion swirl. It cannot override your consecration. They are planning a move, but heaven is 10 moves ahead. Your stillness will speak louder than their schemes. Your peace will protect you better than any argument. Do not waste your oil on convincing the wrong audience. Their ears were never open to your truth. They were only tuned to your downfall. But they will not get what they came for. Because you are covered. You are guided. You are sealed. This is your moment of separation. This is your final test. If you do not respond, you win. If you stay silent, you rise. If you choose alignment over attention, you are accelerated. You're not just being tested by people, you're being observed by heaven. Will you go backward for validation or forward for fulfillment? Archangel Michael stands at the edge of your breakthrough, sword drawn, shield raised, declaring this: if you stay in position, heaven will fight for you. If you hold your peace, angels will war in your name. If you remain unshaken, the enemy will retreat empty-handed. But you must decide. You must choose the calling over the chaos. You must choose purpose over petty. You must choose destiny over distraction. The pressure is real, but the promise is greater. The conflict is loud, but the calling is louder. And as you pass this test, without reacting, without explaining, without lowering your spiritual posture, you unlock the next level. The drama is only a doorway. Walk through it with silence as your sword and peace as your armor. Type "I will not react" in the comments if you receive this strategy. Blessing code 1313 is now shielding your steps. Now that the trap has been revealed, now that the motives have been exposed, now that the warfare has been unmasked for what it truly is, a spiritual distraction to detour you from your calling, Archangel Michael steps in to surround you with divine protection and offer heavenly instruction. This is your shielded moment. This is not the time to fight with flesh. This is not the hour to explain yourself to minds already made up. This is the sacred pause, the stillness between your past noise and your future glory. the moment where silence becomes your strategy and peace becomes your sword. You are being asked to do something rare, to not react, to not respond, to not reach back and pull explanations from your soul just to appease people who were never meant to understand your path. You are being instructed to protect your oil, guard your time, close the gates to your spirit. You have been too open with hearts that were not healed enough to handle you. You have been too generous with your wisdom, too exposed with your plans, too available to those who only wanted to pull you into their vortex of drama. But now, Archangel Michael says, seal the room, shut the door, guard the sacred. This is not retreat. This is refinement. You are not hiding. You are being hidden. There's a difference. Heaven is cloaking you, not to remove you but to restore you. Your light had grown dim not because it faded, but because it was being smothered by noise, entitlement, and manipulation. And so the instruction from the throne is simple. Do not explain yourself. Do not engage. Do not water down your calling to fit into containers that cannot hold you anymore. You are bigger than their arguments. You are brighter than their projections. You are deeper than their assumptions. You do not need to prove who you are. You only need to be who you are. When the attacks rise, return to stillness. When the confusion swirls, return to prayer. When the lies echo louder, return to the throne room of your spirit. There, in the silence, heaven fights for you. There, in the quiet, your angels go before you. There, in your restraint, your authority is multiplied. Archangel Michael reminds you, this battle is not won by shouting, it is won by standing. Standing in truth. Standing in light. Standing in purpose. You don't need to lift a finger to defend yourself. Heaven is already dispatching warriors on your behalf. And now, as you breathe deeply and return to your center, feel the divine shield rising around you. You are not vulnerable. You are victorious. You are not alone. You are aligned. You are not exposed. You are encased in supernatural defense. The same ones who tried to pull you down will watch you be lifted. But your job now is not revenge. It's release. Let it go. Let them go. Let the urge to retaliate pass through you like a wind that cannot land. You are chosen. And the chosen must remain clean for the calling. Stay grounded. Stay guarded. Stay grateful. The next chapter is sacred, and it requires a stronger version of you. Not a louder version. Not a bitter version. But a version of you that's too anchored to be provoked and too elevated to be touched. Let them talk. Let them twist. Let them believe what they must. You, however, will rise silently, steadily, supernaturally. Type I choose peace in the comments if you are standing still. Blessing code 1717 now surrounds your energy with divine defense. You have been silent. You have been still. You have withheld your power not because you lacked it, but because you were learning to aim it. Archangel Michael now steps forward, with divine authority blazing, to announce, the shift is here. The silence was never your prison. It was your preparation. The retreat was never your defeat. It was your recharge. And now, as heaven parts the clouds and opens the gates of momentum, the same you that was once distracted is now dangerous. The same you that was once entangled is now empowered. You are rising, and they will see it. They will see that your silence was strength. They will see that your distance was discernment. They will see that your boundaries were not cruelty. They were clarity. Because when the call get quiet, the heavens get louder. And heaven hath been speaking your name behind the scenes, releasing blueprints, clearing paths, and preparing rooms for your arrival. You are no longer the version of you that tolerated chaos to feel connected. You are no longer the version that needed their validation to stay visible. You are no longer who they thought you were. They saw a helper, but heaven sees a warrior. They saw someone to lean on, but heaven sees someone to lead. They saw your pause and believed you were done, but they forgot that purpose never dies. It only waits for obedience. And now, with your spirit realigned and your eyes open, Archangel Michael declares, you are rising with a roar that silence could not suppress. This is not a return to what was. This is a rebirth into what will be. This is not a restoration of your old self. This is a revealing of the self you were always meant to become. Yes, the ashes are still around you, but from those ashes, you rise. You rise not timidly, not quietly, but with sacred confidence. The old you would have doubted this moment. The old you would have second-guessed this calling. The old you would have asked permission to walk into what was already yours. But that you has been shed, that you has been buried, that you no longer belongs to this new frequency you now embody. You do not beg, you build. You do not chase, you choose. You do not explain, you embody. And now, as your elevation begins, the voices that once had power over you will lose their grip. The circles that once contained you will shrink in your wake. The opinions that once pierced your soul will bounce off your armor. Because heaven has declared this season to be one of unapologetic becoming. You will rise and they will watch. You will rise and they will whisper. You will rise and the same mouths that mocked you will marvel. But you must not turn back. You must not shrink to make others comfortable. You must not downplay your glow to soothe their shadows. You are the evidence of endurance. You are the symbol of sovereignty. You are the walking prophecy of what happens when purpose is protected. Archangel Michael is not just guarding you. He is guiding you. Angels are not just following you. They are clearing your path. And every step you now take is anointed with certainty, because the distractions no longer have your attention. You see now. You know now. You remember now. Type I am rising in the comments if this is your rebirth. Blessing code 888 is now pouring elevation into your spirit. Archangel Michael now speaks the word you've been waiting to hear. Breakthrough. What you endured was never in vain. What you suffered in silence, what you wrestled with in the dark, what you questioned during sleepless nights, it is all converging now. The pain, the pressure, the pruning, it has produced something precious. And the divine realm is responding. You are stepping into a sacred shift. This is not merely the end of distraction. This is the emergence of transformation. The dust is settling. The veil is lifting, and heaven is ushering in your reward. This was never just about avoiding drama. This was about preparing you for dominion. They thought the delay disqualified you. They thought your silence meant surrender. But they didn't know the depth of what was taking place within. Heaven was reforming you in the silence. Heaven was refining you in the shadows. And now, Archangel Michael announces that your transformation is complete. You are no longer bound by their opinions. You are no longer tied to their timelines. You are no longer defined by their doubts. You are rising as one who is fully aware of their divine design, one who carries weight in the realm of the Spirit. And because you passed the test, because you stayed in alignment despite the distractions, you are about to be crowned with favor. Within the next 7 days, you will feel a shift in your atmosphere. Opportunities will find you. Peace will embrace you. Divine connections will appear out of nowhere. Unexpected restoration will visit you. Clarity will flood in like light through a broken ceiling. Doors that were once locked will swing wide, not because you forced them, but because you became the version of yourself that was always meant to enter. And now the delay is over. The detour has ended. The distractions have expired. This is your divine appointment with elevation. Do not be surprised when someone reaches out to clear the air. Do not be shocked when truths begin to surface, not through confrontation but through divine orchestration. What they tried to hide will be exposed, not through vengeance, but through virtue. Because heaven does not need to vindicate you with violence. It vindicates you with visibility. And you will be seen, heard, honored, and remembered. You will be elevated not just in the spiritual but in the natural. You will be restored in ways that make your enemies question how they ever doubted your path. This is not the time to doubt what you hear in your spirit. This is the time to declare what you believe in your soul. This is your reward for holding your peace. This is your inheritance for choosing your calling over their chaos. This is your portion because you refused to break when others tried to bend you. The throne room is celebrating your endurance. The angels are preparing your portion. And Archangel Michael has loosed the decree. Elevation has begun. Transformation is sealed. Breakthrough is inevitable. If this message has spoken to your soul, and you feel led to support this prophetic voice, consider giving us super thanks. Contributions of $20 help us continue releasing these divine messages. Your generosity is deeply appreciated and fuels the creation of more powerful content like this. Type "I receive my breakthrough" in the comments. Blessing code 555 is being written over your new chapter. You've heard the message. You felt the fire. You stood under the weight of truth that only heaven could deliver. And now, Archangel Michael pauses not to repeat what's already been revealed, but to call you into action. Because prophecy without movement is potential wasted. Revelation without response is alignment delayed. And today, this is your divine moment, not just to listen, not just to weep, not just to resonate, but to rise and respond. You are not here to spectate your purpose. You are here to step into it fully. The calling has never left you, even when you left it, even when you wandered, even when you became distracted by their drama, their crisis, their chaos, their loud opinions about a destiny they were never assigned to understand. Heaven held your calling in place. Archangel Michael stood over it, preserved it, protected it, waited for you. And now that the veil has been torn, now that your clarity has returned, now that your discernment has matured through the fire, you are being summoned. Not gently, not casually, but with urgency. Time is still running. The clock hasn't stopped, but you are now awake enough to move. This is your hour of decision. You must declare with your spirit what heaven has already written in your destiny. Speak it aloud. Type it in faith. Declare it with the same mouth that once doubted your worth. Say, "I return to my calling." Say, "I will no longer be distracted." Say, "I choose destiny over drama, vision over noise, purpose over people-pleasing." Because when you declare it, you align with it. When you affirm it, you activate it. When you agree with it, you allow the divine machinery of heaven to move on your behalf. There is power in your agreement, power in your words, power in your spiritual yes. Do not dismiss this moment as emotional. This is sacred. This is strategic. This is spiritual warfare, and your obedience is your victory. Archangel Michael makes this clear. When you declare your yes, your angels are dispatched. When you stand in agreement, your path begins to clear. When you speak life, the shadows lose grip. You must now walk in what you know. No more excuses. No more waiting for others to confirm what heaven has already commanded. You are not too late. You are not disqualified. You are not behind. You are chosen, equipped, prepared, and about to be launched into the very thing they said you missed. The only requirement now is your response. Not just emotionally, spiritually, intentionally, prophetically. Speak as one who knows. Move as one who trusts. Line as one who has seen behind the curtain and knows that heaven is moving. So wherever you are, on your couch, at your desk, in your car, in your silence, lift your spirit and respond. Let your fingers type what your heart has finally remembered. Let your voice echo what your soul has known since the beginning. You were born for this. You were designed for this. And this moment right now, this call to action, is not a performance. That is the portal. Type I align with heaven in the comments, and let your soul agree. Blessing Code 1010 is now opening doors no man can shut. You made it. Through the storm, through the distractions, through the voices that tried to pull you out of alignment and plant you in confusion. You made it. Archangel Michael now wraps this message in fire and finality, declaring, you are not a victim of delay. You are a vessel of destiny. They tried to twist your story, but the author of all things never dropped the pen. Heaven was still writing, even when you thought the story had ended. And now, as the ink dries on this chapter, you must hold this truth with unshakable confidence. You were never forgotten. You were only being fortified. You are not broken. You are breaking through. You are not lost. You are being launched. You are not confused. You are called. Let every lie you once believed about yourself now be buried under the truth of your identity. You are light in human form. You are power wrapped in grace. You are wisdom born through warfare. And the moment you stopped chasing approval, the heavens began accelerating your assignment. Because heaven doesn't operate on popularity, it operates on purpose. And your purpose just survived the storm of distraction. Let them whisper. Let them wonder. Let them question how you still rose with peace when they poured poison into your path. Let them witness what divine covering looks like. Because your elevation is not an explanation, it's a manifestation. What they thought would stop you only sharpened you. What they thought would break you only birthed a stronger you. And now, heaven releases the final decree. You are the revelation. You are the testimony. You are the prophecy fulfilled in the face of those who doubted your becoming. This is not the time to shrink. This is not the time to soften your glow. This is the time to walk boldly, to speak prophetically, to love fiercely, and to rise unapologetically. You are not arrogant for owing your anointing. You are not prideful for protecting your peace. You are not harsh for cutting off confusion. You are finally standing in the truth of who you were always meant to be. And no shadow, no slander, no delay can steal what God already sealed. Archangel Michael now surrounds you with a final layer of divine armor. May your feet be swift in purpose. May your hands build what they once broke. May your voice carry the sound of heaven's roar. And may your heart never again confuse chaos with compassion. You are released. You are restored. You are reawakened. The weight of distraction has lifted, and the wings of destiny are opening. Go forward now, not as someone trying to find the light, but as the light itself. Go forward as one who no longer entertains smallness, but embraces sacred expansion. Go forward, and when the wind rises again, let your stillness remind the world that you were never moved by noise. You were led by the throne. And if this message has stirred your spirit, if it's reignited your fire, and you feel led to support the mission of releasing prophetic truths like this, consider giving a super thanks. Contributions of $20 help us bring more divine messages your way. Your support is deeply appreciated and makes this sacred work possible. Type "I am the revelation" in the comments. Blessing code 2020 is sealing your rise with divine clarity and unstoppable favor.